Welcome to Chicago This Week. I'm Raylan Lee. Thanks for tuning in. You may have seen the video. A huge crowd of Chicago teens causing damage and destruction in the city. Plus, 3 teens were shot in separate incidents. Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she's taking steps to address the issue. I went to the Loop to gather more. Take a look.
This is some really lawless, and I think it should absolutely get quashed.
Mayhem in downtown Chicago last Saturday night as teens wreak havoc through the streets. Hundreds of teens riot through the Loop in Chicago, vandalizing cars, tourists, and stores along Michigan Avenue. Police also had to escort many tourists and residents to their cars.
It's got to get stomped, absolutely stomped, and something's got to be done now.
During this late night madness, 2 teens were also shot but are in fair condition. New mayoral-elect Brandon Johnson released a statement in response to the teens' actions, stating he does not condone the destructive activity and it is unacceptable, but it is not constructive to demonize youth who have been starved of opportunities in their communities. Johnson went to add on that the city must work together to create spaces for youth to gather safely and responsibly.
This is our children, and we're their parents, and we need to come together, hot-headed, passionate, and really just fund our children, fund them.
Another shooting occurred last week further north in Evanston. Northwestern University students were ordered to shelter in place when a gunman was on the loose near campus. Jessica Christopher talked to students about the response. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Raylan. The tragic shooting happened last Wednesday evening. While no Northwestern students were shot, the incident has left many disappointed in the university's response. Northwestern students sheltered in place Wednesday evening after hearing news of an active shooting at Clark Street Beach.
It was like one of the scariest moments I've ever had in like a school environment.
But for over 30 minutes, students say the university failed to inform them of the ongoing threat.
I thought it was ridiculous. I thought that the fact that group chats and like text messages and posts on apps like Yik Yak and Instagram, the fact that those were my notifications of the shooting prior to Northwestern giving me information that a dangerous situation was going on was preposterous.
According to a press release from the city of Evanston, the shooting occurred at approximately 8:10 p.m. The first email was sent at 8:44 p.m. by Northwestern.
People started running in a panic from the beach, and if that hadn't happened, who knows what would have happened to those students who were actively there.
Northwestern released a statement Thursday saying leadership will review our response, our procedures, and the phone communication for the future.
There can't be something that wrong with your notification system that you waited 38 minutes to notify students that an active shooting was happening.
1 man is dead and 2 teens are wounded as a result of the shooting. Police are still searching for suspects. In Chicago, I'm Jessica Christopher, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Jessica. From the city to the suburbs, the violence among young people continues to be a problem. We even see it inside our schools. Lurie Children's Hospital is starting a violence prevention program to try to tackle the issue. They're teaming up with local high schools to do something about it. Kennedy Chase is live with the story. Tell us about this program, Kennedy.
Yes, Raylan, it is no surprise that gun violence in schools in our country is more prevalent now than ever. But thanks to Lurie Children's Hospital, they are doing what they can to help combat the issue of gun-related deaths in schools for students in the city of Chicago.
Well, it's our reality today.
Government statements on school shootings are now common.
We continue to call on Congress to act, to pass an assault weapons ban, and take additional actions to make our kids and communities safer.
Firearms are the leading cause of death for children and teens in the United States.
It is sad, but, we have to we've got to decide what we want to do about it.
There have been over 140 mass shootings in 2023 alone. And according to an Everytown research study, nearly 4,000 kids and teens are shot and killed every year and 15,000 injured.
You just wonder when we're going to decide and when our politicians are going to support us to do something different.
To help combat the rise of gun-related deaths in schools, Lurie Children's Hospital hosts Safety Day workshops at various local high schools. One of the schools being Bloom High School in the south suburbs of Chicago.
It empowers kids to say, you don't just have to be helpless. Here's some things that you can do.
The training includes handling CPR and how to stop a bleed. To host a workshop at your school, you can contact Lurie Children's Hospital directly.
Thanks, Kennedy. Another program in the city aimed at helping children is the Chicago Children's Advocacy Center. The nonprofit just got a $1 million grant from Congress. Our Demita Menezes went to the center to learn more about what they'll do with the additional funds.
The Chicago Children's Advocacy Center is receiving $1 million through Congress to expand services and build a new co-center for adults.
We serve about 2,500 kids a year. We keep having more and more children that need mental health services. We get more and more staff coming in from all of our partners, and we're literally just completely out of space.
The money was secured by Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth, and it comes at the right time. This month is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the center is the only center in the city to provide mental health and investigative services to child abuse victims for free.
If we are going to bring peace to our neighborhoods, we've got to bring peace to our families. We've got to make sure that there's a positive environment in the homes that children grew up in.
Rivette says the center has seen an increase in the need for children's mental health services since the COVID-19 pandemic. The center currently has a wait list of about 150 children.
The number of kids that are coming in for investigation that need mental health treatment has definitely grown pretty dramatically.
The center also has long-term plans to expand to build a new co-center called Can Hope, which will provide services to adult victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. It will cost around $40 million for this new initiative.
Between here and $40 million is a long road, and we're really committed to making that happen.
The center is hosting its biggest fundraiser event, the Luminary Award Dinner, on Wednesday. They hope to raise the necessary funds to support its programs and services.
The Supreme Court placed a hold on a Texas court's ruling that would have limited access to an abortion drug. It was one of several court rulings on the abortion drug issue. Ophelia Dang is following the story. Where does this leave the public, Ophelia?
Hi, Rylan. Abortion battle continues to play out. It's looking like a long fight. The bottom line is women can still access abortion pill for now, but the future depends on the Supreme Court.
Pharmacies like Walgreens can still distribute the abortion pill mifepristone thanks to a Supreme Court ruling. But there are more restrictions.
It requires in-person distribution, and it also changes the authorized time limit from 7 weeks of pregnancy to 10.
A federal court determined that here in Illinois, the status quo is preserved.
The FDA to keep mifepristone available here without these restrictions.
These rulings are only temporary. The Supreme Court will determine the future.
It can go very quickly or it can take some time. The Supreme Court can decide not to rule.
The question is, who is at stake?
Medication abortion restrictions disproportionately impact people of color, people who are already struggling to make ends meet.
Abortion providers are also looking for an alternative drug to replace mifepristone if the access was denied.
We're switching gears now to some business news. I'm Brenda Ordonez. Walmart is closing 4 stores in Chicago. The news was sudden and area residents are not happy. I attended one protest in Little Village where residents rallied to try to keep their store open.
We want Walmart open!
We want Walmart open!
On Friday, Little Village residents gathered with signs and chants at the neighborhood Walmart located on West Cermak Road to protest the store's closure.
We cannot beat Walmart's prices. Therefore, they're going to leave this community with a disservice, without resources, without other options to do their locally shopping.
Walmart announced the closure just 5 days shy of its April 16th closing date, saying it was due to a continuous decrease in business. But for residents in the area, this isn't adding up.
The store says that no one comes to shop here, but I think that's a lie because I come every week and each time I spend about $100 to $130. And what's more, everyone in the community comes here too.
Residents say this Walmart is one of the only stores in the neighborhood that is accessible and offers affordable prices for groceries and medication.
A lot of our senior citizens depend on the pharmacy because of the prices. Again, we cannot beat those prices.
And while local shoppers figure out how and from where they are going to get their groceries, long-standing Walmart employee Maria Serrano is figuring out what she will do for work.
We did not expect this blow that they were going to close Walmart.
Serrano says she was notified at the same time as the public and was given the option to either find another job or transfer to another location. As of right now, her decision remains unclear. Happy news for residents of Portage Park. They've got a store opening to celebrate. The shop is geared toward knitting fans. Mia Bearden was at the packed ribbon cutting. She joins us live. Hi, Mia.
Yes, Brenda, I attended the grand opening of a community space bringing together the love of yarn and creativity. I spoke to community members on what they hope this shop will bring. Owner of the Bloom and Spindle says that interacting with customers is what makes her big day so special.
The highlights of today were meeting everyone in the community, because the whole time I've been building out, I've been getting these Instagram DMs and emails, and today I got to put faces to all of those messages, and I got to know my neighbors, and that was lovely. I also just want to provide a space where people who might be on different political sides, different ideologies, can come here and get to know one another and share something together.
I spoke to a couple customers on the impact this business brings to the community.
I just saw this, it's like, oh, how wonderful. A new independent shop in the neighborhood. It's walking distance from my house. There's all kinds of people outside, inside. Everyone's talking. I've met people here I've never seen before, so it's just wonderful.
My daughter is an avid knitter, and I've been living in a neighborhood for 33 years, and we are both over the moon about this new shop here, because we usually have to go out of our neighborhood to find high quality yarn like I'm seeing here tonight.
A board member of the Portage Park Chamber of Commerce sheds light on the history of the space.
We've got an opportunity to bring in a beautiful new business. They've renovated a space that has been long vacant. It was previously a few other businesses, but they've really repurposed it and turned it into something that I think is a true destination in the city. Just adding another business, one, is going to bring good economic benefits to the city. That's going to give our area more dollars to be able to reinvest within our community. I think people will find Portage Park's a hidden gem that many might not know about.
In the future, Hagen hopes to incorporate a variety of yarn from all around the world.
Thank you, Mia. Renovation plans at Ryan Field Stadium have Evanston residents divided. Some welcome the change and opportunity it could bring. Others only see problems. Abby Buston is in the studio with more. Hey, Abby.
Hi, Brenda. Northwestern University plans to cash in an $800 million check, all for a new football stadium. But this has locals concerned. Take a look.
It's the local showdown of the year, pitting neighbor against neighbor. It's an $800 million Ryan Field Stadium renovation, working its way through the Evanston City Council. Put simply, it's Northwestern University versus Evanston locals.
A lot of people in the city of Evanston don't even really understand the impact.
Northwestern employee and Evanston local Sonia Cohen began researching the new stadium's effects after Northwestern announced a demolished and completely new stadium plan last September. But now she is only more concerned.
Northwestern has an extensive programs about climate change and sustainable cities, and all that seems to be ignored because their focus is on just making money.
Northwestern's goal to create the stadium into a for-profit concert venue deeply troubles locals. Burdens range from pollution, traffic, tax avoidance, inadequate parking, zoning changes, and even a lack of access to the nearby hospital. Something locals say this family-friendly neighborhood cannot withstand.
It's just not realistic. We have a 100-year-old house behind me with 100-year-old windows, 100-year-old insulation, actually 105-year-old. It's not meant to be up against the second largest concert venue in the state.
Walking the streets around the neighborhood, many have signs against moving forward, and local community groups have more than 1,000 petition signatures. But Evanston locals likely won't see results for another couple of months.
everyone, I'm Elena Sklar. Thanks for tuning in to Chicago This Week Sports. We've got tennis, and more tennis. We'll start with the women's cross-city matchup between UIC and DePaul. Take a look. UIC women's tennis rewrote history by taking down DePaul for the first time ever. During the two teams' sixth meeting, the Flames came out victorious after finding themselves down 3-0 early.
We were down most of the courts, but then it took team effort to be able to win 4 points in a row. And it's also a Chicago battle, and they're ranked, so this means a lot for us.
Yeah, I think just to see the guts that this team had and the drive on this hot day and humidity, and I think we were up and maybe could have closed it out and then didn't, but we never stopped.
While the Flames enjoyed their big win, they have their sights set on winning a conference title at the Missouri Valley Championships next.
We're a good team. Everyone should know that, and we're going to prove it in the championships.
My goal is to win. I mean, I want a championship, I want a title, I want to take this team to the NCAAs, and it's definitely something that is attainable.
It's going to take a lot of team effort, team spirit, and a lot of fight, because we've been waiting for this the whole season, and now it's about time to just show everyone who the Flames are.
Moving on to the men now. Ayana Bronner spent some time this week with the Northwestern men's tennis team. Hi Ayana, tell us what you learned.
Hi Elena, I learned a lot. I highlighted a player and a coach from the Northwestern men's tennis team. Check it out. Showing up with the right attitude sets the tone for the Northwestern men's tennis team.
The resilience, the ability to strategize, to make a goal and stick to it, and to follow through with my actions, and to show up every day and give my best effort. That's going to stick with me for the rest of my life, and I think I have tennis to thank for that.
Coach Arvid and Kling make sure to set high expectations for the team.
They have high expectations, and you better stick to them or you're going to hear about it. And I think that that's a good thing, because it can be tough to come out here at 7:30 every morning and put your best foot forward. They will acknowledge that, but then still say, listen, you got to come out here and you're going to do your best out here. And that really, I think, has made everyone on the team just better people and more resilient people. And it's really been great playing for them.
Improving and recognizing it's bigger than just one person, and supporting each other during the low times.
Our team is really fit. The guys do work really hard, and I think the work started back in September. It's been a long season, and then each guy has individual things that they work on, both in doubles and singles. So we'll do that on the practice courts.
Nathan Spear was another one of the players who dedicated their tennis career to NU.
Senior day is tough because you're losing someone who I really respect and admire, and has been a huge part of our team. He's everything that's right about college athletics. So we're going to miss him when he leaves, but we've got a few more matches where he'll be leading our team, so it's great.
The weather has been up and down the last few days, to say the least. From sunny and hot to cold and snowy. It was definitely perfect tennis weather for the opening day of Maggie Daly Park tennis courts, though. Max Olson was there. How was it, Max?
Yeah, it was great, Elena. Like you said, the weather has been up and down, but not even the bad weather is keeping Chicagoans off the courts this spring.
The Maggie Daly Park tennis courts have been opened for the first time in 2023. The reopening of the courts has community members looking forward to getting outside, being active, and most importantly, having fun this summer.
Well, just physical activity in general, staying active, staying fit, just getting that heart rate up, keep it moving during the day. It's the spice of life, getting in those courts, hitting it back and forth. It's just like life, you're always going back and forth. So.
The park recently hosted a spring opening celebration, and the courts have been full ever since.
I think just having access to the lakefront, because the lakefront just makes the whole city, so it brings the city to life, and it's the first nice day of the year, so just wanted to come and play tennis.
I'm mainly looking forward to the people out here smiling. Just excited to be outside, You could already tell the lakefront's packed. It's jumped and jamming, so courts are too. So it's exciting. Like a week ago, this was cold, no nets up or anything. So it's a turn of the year, as always.
The courts will be open for the rest of the spring and into the summer.
Did you know about Chicago Sports Museum? There are so many fascinating items on display there. John Riker got a tour and joins us now live in the city with more. Hi, John.
Thanks, Elena. Chicago baseball fans have the Cubs on the north side and White Sox on the south side. But for fans looking to satiate their baseball appetite here downtown, the Chicago Sports Museum provides both entertainment and a Chicago sports education.
Spring is an exciting time for Chicago sports, and the Chicago Sports Museum is embracing it all. Located in Water Tower Place, the museum features both memorabilia and interactives. They document everything from the good, the Bears' 1985 Super Bowl, the Cubs World Series, to the bad, such as the remains of the infamous Steve Bartman foul ball.
From pretty much 1908 all the way to present day, we have memorabilia from the World Series. The Cubs were in 1908, 1945, obviously 2016, with that. And so we have memorabilia throughout, the entire history of Chicago sports.
The museum also caters to younger audiences with hands-free interactive exhibits, though any age can get in on the fun.
Michael Jordan Jones and all the interactive games that are so cool.
The museum is constantly adding to its collection through donations and auctions.
In terms of the memorabilia itself, we actually have the hoop from the 1998 NBA Finals where Michael Jordan made his last shot with the Chicago Bulls.
What's next for the museum's visitors? More history, hopefully.
Thanks, John. Max is back now with NBA news. Max, the playoffs are officially underway.
They are, Elena. All 16 teams enter with a chance to win the championship, but only one will walk away with the prestigious Larry O'Brien Trophy at the end of the tournament. I'm joined by sports journalist for Medill Reports, Kyle Williams. Kyle, you've been following this season along really closely and the playoffs. Kyle, we're going to start with the Eastern Conference. Who do you like to come out on top of the East?
Thanks for having me on the show, Max. I have the Boston Celtics coming out of the Eastern Conference and to play in their second finals in as many years.
What do you think will put the Celtics over the top here? They have very good star players, but who do you look for to really put them over the top here?
They have a dynamic duo in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and they're both standouts on both sides of the ball. They play offense, they play defense, and they're a tough matchup for anybody to even contend with in the Eastern Conference.
So, Kyle, you're going to go with the Celtics to come out of the East. If we look at the West, this is a very, very tough conference this year. Who do you like to come out of the West?
I have to go with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's never smart to bet against LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and they're playing their best basketball at the right time.
And that's what I was going to say. LeBron, he has been a staple in the league. What do you like about LeBron and AD this year to get them to that finals?
LeBron is he's a master of controlling the game, controlling the offense, and then Anthony Davis is healthy, which is a big portion of the game with him. And he's playing defense at an elite level. So with those two factors, I don't see anybody in the Western Conference being able to contend with them.
Well, thank you for joining me, Kyle. Kyle is rolling with the Lakers and the Celtics to play in the NBA Finals. These two teams have met an NBA record 12 times in the finals. Will we see number 13 this season?
Hi, I'm Hayes Owens with Entertainment News. This first topic has become quite controversial around the country. Drag shows. A bill was passed earlier this month in Tennessee. It's being referred to as the anti-drag bill. It restricts performances near schools, parks, or churches. Performers here in Chicago decided to protest by putting on a show of their own.
Who's ready to get a drag show started?
Chicago residents gather at the Metro in support of the trans and drag community of Tennessee after the Senate passed a bill banning drag shows. Organizer Lucy Stool says while the mission is to raise money for 7 organizations, there is a deeper importance.
The community needed to be able to see some joy, needed to be able to see that there is a space where they are loved and their art is supported in this way. Drag queens have always been like activists, and I wanted to make sure to continue that trend and also try and influence the new girls to keep it going.
everyone should have rights. I don't know, call me crazy. And I want to see some beautiful queens dance, and so it's a win-win.
I want to see drag be, open and available and continue to be an art form and an outlet for many people. And this shows that, it's not just queer folks that are supporting drag, it's all folks.
Another queen has a message for the Senate.
Really, they can try and put in laws, silence us, take away our health care, take away everything from us, but we will not go down without a fight.
Critics say the bill is vague, making business owners and performers confused. However, the community and supporters will not give up. The Chicago Latino Film Festival was held for the 39th year. Lena Folk was at the event and is live with more. The festival was extra special this year, right, Lena?
That's right, Hayes. The Latino Film Festival has returned for the first time in 4 years. Everyone was so excited to be there, and it meant so much more than just a film screening. Take a look.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 39th Chicago Latino Film Festival. Yes, here we are. And we are back for the first time, full in person.
We haven't been here in 4 years. We were ready to come in 2020 and we couldn't, understandably.
Being Hispanic, I believe that it's a great thing to support the Latino community, and I'm here tonight. I'm looking forward to the entertainment.
I'm the lead actor in the movie that you're about to see. First of all, I want to thank Pepe.
Love and Mathematics is a movie that we did in Mexico, in Monterrey. I think, in my opinion, what I think that is most important is it's about roles in society. I don't think that only in Mexico we have this kind of roles. Latinos we have years and years being in here, living in here, giving voices to our stories, and I think bringing these stories to the United States and in here specifically in Chicago, it's not just important, it's actually basic and it's part of the culture in this country.
Thanks, Lena. We're sticking to entertainment with this next story. It's a beautiful outdoor art show that uses the city architecture as a backdrop. It's now time for Living Local with Julia O'Leary.
Starbucks has announced a new line of drinks. This special Valentine's Day event this weekend kicked off spring programming for Art on the Mart. And yes, I'm talking about the Merchandise Mart building. Artist Derek Adams was commissioned this year, and he created the biggest animation I've ever seen. Check it out. Chicago's larger-than-life art installation, Art on the Mart, is back for its 5th year. The Mart, formerly known as the Merchandise Mart, was the largest building in the world when it opened in 1930. Now, it serves as a canvas for unique art exhibitions from internationally renowned artists like Derek Adams.
It's called Fun Time Unicorn. Ruby rides through 4 seasons, and it's an expression of Black joy, play, and love, and I think it's going to be a wonderful experience for all Chicagoans and visitors.
Adams told the crowd what inspired him.
It was inspired by my goddaughter, Ruby, and I kind of just went with that, and I felt like that was enough. And if you met her, you would know what I'm talking about.
Art on the Mart is excited for Adams, who's Baltimore-born and Brooklyn-based, to have his Chicago moment.
I think it's a point of pride. It's a place where people can convene at this confluence of the 3 branches of the Chicago River in front of the landmark, historic, iconic Mart. And I think it's a great way to unify people and catalyze dialogue around the most important issues of our time.
In keeping with community pride, the Mart will also project art from Chicago Public Schools seniors. This spring programming will run nightly through July 5th.
Thank you so much, Julia, and thank you at home for watching. That's all for Chicago this week. Tune in next week for another episode. Have a great day, everyone.